Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the Rekt Capital channel. Today we're going to be focusing on the 12-month time frame, specifically Bitcoin's 4-year cycle, and it's going to be an update to a YouTube video and to a tweet that I posted earlier in 2020, earlier this year. And we're going to be focusing specifically on March 3rd, because this is when I started to really talk about the 4-year cycle, and I've been speaking about what these 12-month candles really mean. So essentially speaking, euphoria candle followed by a bear market candle, followed by a bottoming out candle, and then a recovery candle. And that's essentially the same sequence of events that we see in the next 4-year cycle: exponential candle, bear market candle, bottoming out candle, and a recovery candle. And the thing about recovery candles is that they are always occurring in candle 4, so essentially in the last year of the 4-year cycle, and candle 4 is really focused on eclipsing the old high of the previous exponential candle. So you can see here that this was an all-time high exponential candle, but it closed below a very key resistance area. And you can see that candle number 4 manages to 12-month candle close above this very key resistance. And the same thing is what we'll be looking at this year, later this year. As we approach the 12-month candle, you can see back in March 3rd, candle number 4 was a ways away from managing a close above a key resistance of what is essentially 14,300. So 14,300 is essentially this analogous resistance in the previous 4-year candle. In the previous 4-year cycle, apologies. So it is analogous to $741. So you can see that this is an analogous resistance that we need to see candle number 4, 12-month candle close above this level later this year. And we really need to think about how Bitcoin is following through on its recurring historical price tendencies that occurs and showcases after each and every one of its halvings. And I'm sure you guys have read my Bitcoin halving article from over a year now, really. That much time has passed. And of course we had the pandemic-induced panic selling in March of this year, but now it looks like Bitcoin really is starting to resynchronize with its historical price tendencies that it showcases after each and every halving. So it's fantastic to see how we're back on track. I've recently published an up-to-date analysis of all Bitcoin halvings and the Bitcoin halving effect on Bitcoin's price, because now we're really starting to see Bitcoin resynchronize with its historical price tendencies, which is fantastic because we now see Bitcoin breaking past 12,000. And I share my expectations in this recent newsletter. Now that we've resynchronized with these historical tendencies, I share my expectations for Bitcoin going forward, and there's a lot to be excited about. So feel free to subscribe. The early bird discount is still there, so I'm going to be keeping it for a little while longer before finally raising the price. I want to keep this newsletter as accessible as possible for as long as possible. So feel free to check out the link to the description down below to check out the article and subscribe to the newsletter today, because it's fantastic value for an affordable price. So if we just look at the 12-month time frame and the 4-year cycle, this is today's chart, and this is the old 4-year cycle, and this is the new 4-year cycle. And you can see that now that we're breaking past 12,000, you can see that we're really not that far off from the key resistance of 14,300, which we really need to candle close at the end of 2020 in order to see a new exponential candle break above this resistance into a new all-time high. So 2021 is going to be the year of Bitcoin's new all-time high, especially once we see the candle close above 14,300. Because after all, candle number 4 always closes above that key resistance, and we need to see that happen later this year, and that would open Bitcoin up to a new all-time high in 2021. So lots to get excited about. That's an update on the 4-year cycle, looking really good, really exciting, with more than 2 months away from that actual 12-month candle close. So there's still some time, and Bitcoin is looking very good indeed at the moment, because if you actually pay attention to this candle, it looks like a bullish candlestick, a bullish hammer candlestick, which is essentially very similar to this bottoming out candlestick over here. So these are essentially copies of themselves, and this bullish hammer candlestick actually preceded really impressive upsides. So I expect the same thing from Bitcoin, especially once it closes on the 12-month time frame above 14,300 later this year. And that's about it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak soon.